So I was thinking about something from yesterday. I was talking to this woman that I know about homelessness and how everywhere that I travel now, I see rampant homelessness, and it's worse than I've ever seen before. A lot of people living on the street and a lot of people in need of help. And, she expressed how it makes her sad and how she's become cynical about giving homeless people money because of the fact that times where she did give money, sometimes people didn't use the money the way that she thought that they would. Maybe they bought alcohol, maybe they bought drugs, maybe they already had money and were just tricking her. All these different things that we're aware of. People do it sometimes. They're scammers. But I explained to her that I've been in that same place. There was a time where I gave money to this gentleman who said that he needed help to get home. And he told me the exact amount he needed to get home. And I gave him that exact amount. Needless to say, days later, he wasn't home. He was still in the same place, still asking for money. And I was like, man, I'm so broke. And I gave him money thinking he'd be able to get home. And here he is, still here. So I felt upset about that. I felt played. I knew it was taking from my children to give him something. And the thing is, I have enough. My children have enough. Could it be better? Yes. Are we scraping by? Yes. But that doesn't mean that someone else isn't doing much worse, isn't having an even harder time than I am and my kids are. We have a roof over our head. We have food, clothes. We go to the doctor, we go to the dentist. So we're blessed in that way. The basic needs are met. So it took a while. It took some switching of my thinking, turning my mind around, literally instead of having the cynical brain of worrying about what anyone's going to do with their money, I did this switch and I just literally went, okay, this reminds me of when I was in class and I'm being a good little student and someone in class is acting up. They're like, they won't shut up or whatever. And the teacher's like, at the end of class, if you guys can just behave and not talk in class, I'll give you guys a treat or whatever. And then there's this kid who just won't stop. Just like one kid, maybe even two, but just like one kid who will not stop. And then at the end of class or in the midst of class, the teacher just says, nope, none of you can have it because that one kid, they ruined it for all of you. As if we could control that. Like we couldn't do anything about that one kid. That one kid has an issue. Like they've got serious issues probably. They just can't help themselves. They might be impulsive. Now we call it ADHD. I had ADHD, but I could control it, I guess. But anyway, back to where I was going. That kid ruining it for the whole class. For one, it bred resentment. And that's that cynical nature also that we get, like nothing's fair, or this fear or this sense of unjust, because teacher just took it away from all of us. We didn't do anything. What did we do, teacher? We didn't control them. We didn't tape up their mouth. And now we all don't get a treat, right? And in this case, we're talking about people who actually just some really do need food. I know that, right? Some really do need something, food or shelter or clothing or whatever, a blanket. People need real things. Therefore, for me to say, I'm not going to give to any homeless person because I'm worried about what they're going to do when I do give. That is just too much for my brain to handle. So instead, I switch it off. And I say, if I have $5 in my wallet, which is rare, I don't carry cash very much at all. But if I have some pocket change, or if I have some dollars or whatever, if I have some money in my purse and someone asks me for help, I am going to most likely give it to them if it's not designated for something important. And I am not going to worry about what they do with it. So I had to convince myself, once you give this to anyone, it doesn't matter what they do with it now. It is not yours anymore. You gave it out of the goodness of your heart, right? Gave it out of the goodness of your heart with the intention to help that person. You did it, you release it, and then you don't think about it anymore. And that's what I implore each and every one of you to do. If you want to give, but you've tugged with that, you've gone back and forth with yourself about what are they doing with it, or how do I give, how do I know what they're doing? I think we're probably wasting our time trying to figure out what people are doing with the money. And if you have the ability to give, I say just give. Or if you're really that uncomfortable, find a charity you believe in. But if someone on the street just immediately needs help, I say just give. But in your mind, to not torment yourself or not become cynical, just know you gave from your heart. And if that person's a scammer, that's their karma. That's on them. They have to deal with that. They have the mental load to later deal with when maybe they're detoxed off of drugs or alcohol, to know that they took advantage of you and other people. That's for them. That's their burden. That's their burden. It's not your burden. You did what you could. You gave them that $5 or $1 or whatever. Now it's their burden to deal with whatever may have happened because you gave them money. Now, if someone straight says to you, I need to get a fix, can you give me some money? Maybe not. I don't want anyone to overdose on my dime, if possible, if I know that that's going to happen. But I don't have it on my conscience if I don't know that you're going to do it. But I don't want to be an enabler either. So it just depends, If I know for sure that's what you're going to do, I'm not going to give it to you. But I just wanted to share that story with you because I really struggled with giving because of the fact that I felt like I needed to know what was happening with money that I gave. But like I said, in terms of especially the immediate needs of the homeless, when I give, I just give and I release. I release the idea that I ever even gave. I release the thoughts of what are they doing with it? Did it help them? That was my intent when I gave it, and that's all that matters. Everything else is between them and whatever God that they believe in or don't. So I just wanted to share that story, and I hope that it helps someone out who might be struggling in the same way that I was, because we sure do need more people to not turn a blind eye and to see the needs of people who are on the street. And yes, the issue is way deeper than just giving money to people, because honestly, there's some societal issues that there's a lot of messed up things going on, and it's leading to people working 40 hours a week and being on the street. It's absolutely maddening, but at the same time, we each do what we can, and that was just one little share that I wanted to give. So I love you all. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, wherever you are, wherever you be. I hope you be well. I hope you live a long and happy life. Goodbye.